Chef Colette here. I don't know if you heard me the first time, but I'm just making a batch of pastry cream, and I thought I would just invite you guys to join me because I'm prepping for tomorrow's Dough Doctor show. Again, yes, that's the second time I said that, but that's okay. So for pastry cream, for our torta della nonna, we made our pasta frolla last week, and now we've rolled it out, and we are making our pastry cream. Again, this is an impromptu pastry live. I was making pastry cream anyway, so I thought I'd just bring you guys in. And if you're around a few glimpses, thank you for joining me, then you could watch while I make this batch of pastry cream, and I'll explain it as I go along. All right, so let's get started. So the way I make pastry cream is actually a little bit unconventional because I'm not a fan of straining it. When we have to strain pastry cream, we end up with some of it left in the strainer. So with my method, which I actually found in an old baking textbook in a corner of the Cordon Bleu library years ago. Let's go. All right. So the first thing you're going to do, and this will be posted on the website at bakingwithcolette.com, so no worries. We're starting with 13 ounces or 369 grams of milk. I have my cute little Cuisinart stove here, which is hot, so I better be careful. So I'm starting with the 369 grams of milk, and I'm going to add my first amount of sugar. When you read the recipe, you're going to see sugar 1, sugar 2. Well, this is sugar 1, and that's going in there now. And what that is going to do is it slightly lowers the boiling point of the milk, and it helps the milk not burn on the bottom of the pan. We're going to heat this to a low boil, and you want to use a medium saucepan. Nothing too small, nothing too large. It's got to be, it's the Goldilocks school of baking. It has to be just right. Okay, then in a medium-sized bowl, we are going to dump in our cornstarch and our second sugar. And I'm going to whisk these together until I'm working two cameras here, so I'm going this way and that way until they're nice and mixed. And then we're going to add a little more milk. This is 3 ounces or 85 grams of milk. So this is makes our milk total like, what would that be? 2 cups? Yeah, 2 cups. Not that we think in cups anymore, but you know. So this is the trick for not straining. This little bit of milk right here, little bit of milk right there. And now I'm adding 4 large egg yolks. I don't want to be messy. We are on camera. And I'm whisking that in. And the other thing I'm going to add to my hot milk is I'm using some vanilla bean paste, and I'm also going to add some vanilla extract. Now, one thing about pastry cream is pastry cream can be eggy. You know, that can be, some people are like, ooh, I don't like it, it's eggy. But if you add a little bit of vanilla extract at the end, you'll find that it's not. It cuts the egginess. So that's at the end. But right now, as I'm coming up to a low boil, I'm going to add some vanilla bean paste. Now, if you have vanilla pods, if you're super posh, then you could split one in half and scrape the seeds into the milk and sugar 1. So we're going to bring this up to a super low boil. You can see the steam wafting off the surface. And then what I'm going to do is, this technique is called tempering. I'm going to temper in half into my egg, sugar, cornstarch, and milk mixture. That little bit of milk helps insulate things. I can't tip it too much. The milk goes right on, the pan goes right back onto the burner, and we're going to dump this in to the pot. What we did was we just took the hot milk and we raised the temperature of the egg so that it won't curdle or scramble in the hot milk, which would have happened if we dumped that hot milk in there. Okay. Hang on to your whisk. Hang on to your whisk. Because what we're going to do, and moderate your heat, what do I mean by that? Turn it down if you need to. And you're going to use the whisk like a spoon, straight up and down. And you're going to whisk until, I'm going to just move this over a little bit. We're going to whisk until we meet resistance. For those of you who are joining me, I'm making an impromptu batch of pastry cream for tomorrow's Dough Doctor episode. I go live at noon Pacific right here at Baking W Colette, and I answer all your baking questions. So if you're new to my Instagram, please come back tomorrow and join us. So as it begins to thicken, there's going to be a point where we whisk like hell. I hope that doesn't offend anybody, but if you see, I'm beginning to it's beginning to get a little thick, just a little thick. And when I can kind of see the lumps, then you begin to whisk with intention. Any questions? You can drop them in the comments. I love to answer your baking questions, whether it's an impromptu or our regular Dough Doctor episode. And please follow if you want to watch the Dough Doctor, and then you'll get notified when the show is live. So blah, blah, blah. And now we are heading into silky smooth pastry cream. Now you notice I'm choking up on the whisk, I'm turning down the heat, and I'm really whisking. We want this to be smooth. It's a great upper body workout. It's really quite beautiful. And we need to cook out the starch. So you're going to turn down the heat and you're going to whisk for about a minute. If you want to count, but count fast enough, because sometimes that 1/1000 to 1,000 business is a little slow. I think I'm good. I'm going to get my little stove out of the way, and I want to show you what I have here, okay? Had to go to my other camera as well. Now what we're going to do is not destroy the counter, so I'm going to put down a towel, and the next ingredient that's going in is softened butter, all right? We're going to whisk that in. The butter is softened, and it doesn't go in when we're boiling the pastry cream, so the softened butter gives, doing it this way, we'll have a little bit of more velvety, isn't that a great word? A little bit more velvet texture in our pastry cream. The next thing I'm doing, bakers, I'm taking my vanilla extract, and by the way, this isn't some special vanilla extract. I found this in my local Kroger store. For me, that's a Ralph's, and this was $19, and it's really pretty decent vanilla. So I like to tell you, bakers, when I find the deals so that you can rush out and get them too. So now I'm going to whisk in that vanilla extract, and I know you're thinking, hey, we already have put in vanilla bean paste. Maybe we've scraped a pod. What's going on here, chef? Well, that little bit, again, to reiterate, that little bit of vanilla extract, what that does is it cuts the egg. makes it just a little bit more vanilla and yummy. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna set this over to the side. I'm gonna get rid of my little stove, which is ripping hot. If any of you've ever had one of these little camp stoves, you know these suckers get hot. Because I want to show you I'm just tearing it up here because that's what I do. I want to show you the next step. This is a 1/4 sheet pan and I've lined it with plastic wrap. I'm going to grab my pastry cream and I'm just going to, now I'm done with the whisk. And did you bakers see that little motion I just did? When you're removing a spatula or whisk out of anything, a batter, pastry cream, any kind of a mix, give it a little twist and then it won't drip. All right, now I'm going to, you can see that this is just absolutely smooth like velvet. So there is no need to strain this. When I was married to Chef Daniel, my 3rd husband, he used to really just go bonkers when chefs and pastry cooks strained pastry cream. He was like, you, meaning me, need to find a better way. And this is the better way. I'm going to post the recipe tonight just in case any of you are baking along with our torta della nonna tart. And you can make your pastry cream first thing in the morning or maybe even tonight. I'll try to get it up within an hour. So now, here's the thing about pastry cream. The enzymes, there is molecular activity in here, all benevolent, that will cause the surface of the custard to crust over. So we're going to cover it with our plastic wrap. So when you line the pan, make sure you have enough of an overhang. Wax paper will also work, but I think plastic wrap, there we go. And the reason we do this is a pro tip. In a professional pastry shop, this is what chefs do because now it can go in the refrigerator and it'll cool down quickly. The thing with pastry cream is it's got egg protein in it and it can't sit out. It's got to cool down as quickly as possible because we don't want to set up any kind of environment for foodborne pathogens to start having a party in here. So we want to get it cold. As a matter of fact, I'm so paranoid, I'll put an ice pack on the back underneath it and stick it in the fridge. And one final thing, bakers, I'm really thrilled you joined me for this impromptu pastry cream creme patissiere demo. One more thing, that is, it has a shelf life of 2 to 3 days, so you want to use it in between 2 to 3 days. Tomorrow we're going to put it in our torta della nonna. It has to be cool before it goes into our torta della nonna. And anything you make with it must be refrigerated until you're ready to serve, and then any leftovers go right into the refrigerator. That's pretty much it for today. I don't see any questions, so just once again, thank you so much for joining me. And if you liked this impromptu pastry demo, please send me a message, let me know, and I'll keep doing them. It didn't take that much longer to set up, and I'm just thrilled to see you. All right, until tomorrow, remember, the Dough Doctor is live. The doctor is in at noon Pacific. Bring your questions. See you tomorrow.